Hello everybody and welcome back once more to Jillo Lantern. I am TheOutbackAl.
I'm Yin&Jung.
I'm CheerandCosplay.
I'm NV Jitters.
I'm CheerandCosplay.
And I'm Kozi.
And we're getting chased by a psycho killer.
A jack-o'-lantern.
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger as a woman, but also as a jack-o'-lantern.
You mean a Jillo Lantern?
A Jillo-lantern. I quickly grabbed the book, then I took his outstretched hand before he ran off without me. We soon burst out of the shoreline of Lake Shish Kebab, and in front of us was the dock that we had tied the boat to. I nearly cried at the sight of it. The monster had always stopped at the lake edge before, so I thought we could get out into the water, we'd be safe.
Come on, just a little further.
Get to the boat!
I'm trying!
Guess.
When we reached the far end of the dock, Mark stopped dead in his tracks. I nearly ran into him and was about to ask what his problem was when I saw the answer for myself. Just swim. The boat that was supposed to carry us to safety was floating nearly 30 yards away out in the middle of the moonlit lake. The rope that was supposed to have kept it moored to the dock had been hacked apart by a familiar-looking machete that was still embedded in the post. I felt the bottom drop out of my stomach as I realized why the demon had seemed so casual in its pursuit.
I'll tell you what that feeling was. That's you pooping yourself.
Because you did.
Clever bitch.
We're going to have to swim.
Mark, where are you from?
Great idea, but one problem. This book is our only chance at stopping that thing, and we can't risk it getting wet.
Can't we?
Why?
To be honest, I was less concerned with the book getting water damaged, and more concerned with it possibly sprouting fins and fangs and attacking me like a squid-bound piranha. Spiral-bound piranha. I can read.
You thought that was an actual possibility.
It had just been that kind of night.
Oh, we've all been there, hon.
But before I could come up with a better idea, I felt the hair on the back of my neck stand on end.
Okay, you stay here and I'll go to the boat.
Boop.
I know Mark is like an exchange student, but he never quite tells us where he's exchanged from.
It's like Tommy Wiseau.
It's probably gonna be Irish next.
Not to alarm you, but I think the escape plan ship has already sailed.
Ooh.
Nani?
We slowly turned to look behind us. There it was. The Lego pumpkin. Standing at the edge of the forest, there was an annoyingly self-satisfied looking pumpkin demon.
Sounds like she deserved to be. She set a trap, and you two ran right into it. And it didn't backfire on her either.
Actually, it kind of did. I felt the spellbook wriggling under my fingers as she stepped out of the shadows.
Der Hoppenstanch.
I could feel the power inside it thrumming through me, practically begging for me to unleash it. And almost hear a voice whispering what to do in my ear. I had my target, my weapon, and a completely clear night sky above me.
The problem was it was speaking in new German, so I couldn't understand it. Ah, so it seems she had walked into your trap.
No, we were all falling into the book's trap.
Huh?
Those sneaky new Germans. Buy me some time.
What?
I only need a minute. Stall that thing and don't let it get onto the dock.
What?
You're a man, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm a man, alright.
You're a man? I see that psychology degree you're working on came in handy.
I can't say I felt good playing on Mark's toxic masculinity like that. But then, I can't exactly say I feel bad about it now either.
I think Mark's got this. I mean, he's had his hands in his pockets the whole time. He's clearly not bothered.
This is just an average Tuesday where he's from.
Yeah.
Mark adjusted the collar of his Letterman jacket and reached for the machete still embedded halfway into the post. It took him a couple of seconds, and he nearly fell on his ass when he finally pulled it out.
Alright, I'll show you what the kind of man I am.
He almost kind of looks like he's
With
JoJo
this-
posing a little bit.
Hit her with the smolder.
Yeah, hit on her. It worked in Naruto. Once he had his weapon, he slicked back his hair with one hand and literally strutted towards the waiting monster.
And the monster's like, oh, you're coming towards me?
I honestly had to fight not to roll my eyes and groan at the pathetic display of machismo.
Honey, there's a body between you and the killer. I think just be happy about it.
Instead, I focused on finding the spell I had seen earlier back in the cave. Except I can't read. Come on, where is it?
Hey, freak face. Do you have any idea who you're dealing with here? My name is Marcus Andrew Martin, star quarterback of Craven Purdue.
And there's like, my name is Marcus Aurelius Decimus, and I am Gladiator.
And you best
killed my father.
And you best remember that, because I'm the one who's about to send you back to the pumpkin patch.
Get ready to go to the pumpkin patch.
In pieces, small ones.
Do they spell pieces right?
No.
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 Nope.
I'm going to send you back in Pisces.
I did my best to ignore Mark's attempt at trash-talking the 6-foot-tall, 300-pound killing machine and focus on flipping through the book while not getting any paper cuts. Who knows where that thing has been and what kind of staph infection I could get.
Hepatitis, baby.
STD.
I didn't want to find out what I might summon if I spilled blood on that thing, not to mention the diseases I might contract.
Yeah, we're all there.
Come on, I know it's in here somewhere. Aha! And there it was. Toten Morder.
Mordor?
Why would you think that was good?
One does not simply Toten to Mordor. Doesn't that mean kill the killer? I also speak ancient German.
Yes, from what I understood, it was supposed to be a sort of divine judgment. If you cast the spell on someone who was a murderer, then the wrath of the heavens would smite the wicked from the earth. Hey, didn't Mark murder that old woman?
He did.
True. Trial and execution expediently rolled into one.
Exponentially.
I think expediently, because it's quickly, isn't it?
No. Wrong pronunciations only.
Okay. But what if the Turget was inconsonant? Everyone's incontinent, that's why they all shit.
Oh god, it all ties back together. You're getting ahead of me.
You think you're tough, huh?
You ain't bad, you ain't nothing.
I tried to keep my focus on the spell as I began the incantation, but I couldn't block out Mark shouting as he continued to trash talk the monster that was still standing at the edge of the forest.
You think you're tough, huh?
You already used that one.
You think you got what it takes to take me?
He was making it impossible for me to concentrate. I have a really hard time focusing on anything when there are other people talking, and he was screaming so loudly I could have heard him across the lake. He was at least buying time, though. The creature was still watching him and hadn't moved from her spot at the edge of the woods.
Look at them. Ain't even bothered.
Almost like she was waiting for something. Although I couldn't exactly say she looked intimidated.
We've trashed the Del Toro Bulls, the Robtown Zombies, and even the Stephenville Kings. And we're going to crush you into pumpkin pie.
Even ourselves back in that cabin.
I tried to block him out and focus on the spell, but he had started saying we instead of I, and it was really throwing me off.
He was expecting you to fight with him?
No, I think he had slipped into his pre-game hype speech. Either that or he had completely lost his mind.
No. This is how he pre-games anything. Like, literally, they're about to drink, he does that. They're about to have dinner, he does that. He's about to have sex with a girl, he has to tell himself that in the mirror.
We smashed the zombies and the bulls and the kings, and now we're gonna smash this girl.
We're the Craven Fort Slashers, and we're going to slash you from here.
And slash you up.
I was thinking
From
the same
here
thing.
to...
Urk.
We're going to slash you up.
The sounds of Mark's sputtering death gurgle forced me to look up from the book. He had his back to me, but I could see him tottering back and forth while he clutched at his throat.
Oh
This is awkward.
He machete himself.
Mm.
Wah, wah.
Did
Mark
he actually
dropped-
machete himself?
I think he did.
Oh my god, Mark.
Accidentally slit his own throat.
What the story, Mark?
Wow.
Mark dropped the machete and took a few staggering steps back before turning around so I could see him. His throat had been cut. Crimson blood was pouring down his neck and staining the white wife beater underneath his pristine Letterman jacket.
I take it the demon had finally gotten tired of his boasting. Nani?
Oh, she's offended.
No, she's just as confused as we are.
No, the jack-o'-lantern monster still hadn't moved from her spot. If anything, she looked as surprised as I was.
This really is Tucker and Dale versus evil.
Wow.
Huh? I don't understand.
Neither did I at first.
Nani? Oh, Nani.
Facepalm.
Then the monster closed her eyes and slapped a hand to her pumpkin.
I'm afraid I still don't understand. What happened?
The Cravenport Slasher's signature slogan is slash you from here to ear. How such a violent and oddly phrased slogan has survived past the 90s was a mystery.
This isn't the 90s?
But the
Yeah.
phrase is always accompanied by the speaker jerking their thumb across their neck in a quick slashing motion.
He himboed.
You don't mean...
I do.
Wow.
It seemed Mark had hyped himself up a bit too much and forgot about the very real and very sharp machete he was holding.
Darwin strikes again.
Damn, this is some jaunty music.
Mark
investigator-
looked at me.
The investigator is very casual about all this.
Yeah. It's
I realize this
actually
is all
pumpkin.
very, very traumatic for you, but I'm going to make some quips here and there about you talking about your classmates and friends dying.
Mark looked at me, and I looked at him, and he looked at me, and I looked at him, and reached a hand out as if asking for help. I have no idea what the idiot expected me to do. He just slashed his own throat. I couldn't exactly put a band-aid on it.
I guess I never realized until this moment just how easy it is to accidentally cut someone in half. It is, right?
He managed to take one shaky step towards me before falling to his knees and slumping over onto his side, still twitching and gurgling. I stared down at him for nearly a full minute as my brain tried to process the incredibly morbid absurdity of what had just happened. Eventually he closed his eyes and laid mostly still. He twitched occasionally, but that was it.
What about your monster?
When I came back to my senses, she was still staring at him while slowly shaking her head in disbelief. And then she noticed I was watching her. He looked at me, and I looked at him. After an awkward pause, she seemed to decide that break time was over and she was ready to finish the job. As she came at me, I quickly turned my attention back to the spell. The sounds of thudding footsteps on the dock were significantly less distracting for me than Mark's ranting, so I was finally able to concentrate. This time, I could feel the power building in the words.
Power? How so exactly?
It was like there was an electrical current going through my body. Including a slight tingling stroke. Including a slight stroke. Including a slight tingling
A slight tingling sensation on your lips? I mean, that could be a stroke.
As I carefully shaped them into the correct syllables. God damn it!
Like your lips were going... Like your lips were going numb?
It's contagious.
Well, your lip going numb? What do you think the words?
Just the opposite, actually. The tingling grew stronger the further I read, and as it did, the words started to form more easily on my lips until I didn't even have to think about it anymore. It was almost as if someone else was speaking through me.
Hi, Pazuzu.
As I read on, powerful winds began to kick up around me. They swept around me harmlessly, but they buffeted the demon like a hurricane and slowed her approach.
It's fucking windy.
They buffeted the demon. As I continued, clouds started to appear out of nowhere above me, blocking out the light of the moon and the stars.
Didn't that make it difficult to read?
It should have, but the book wouldn't let me stop the spell. The warmth in my hands was being drained into the skin of the book, and the words on the pages were glowing with energy. It should have scared the hell out of me, but the sense of power I was feeling was intoxicating. God, I feel sick just thinking about it.
Go on.
I remember vaguely hearing the monster's thudding footsteps on the dock as I reached the end of the incantation. I paused at the last word to look up from the book.
Oh, her eye twitching.
When you looked at her, and she looked at you.
The pumpkin monster was struggling futilely against the winds to reach me. The monster I'd been so terrified of had been stopped dead in its tracks by my power. It was completely helpless against me. I felt like a god in that moment. Like everything else was insignificant compared to me and the power of that book. It was...
Miss Finala?
I'm sorry, I thought I was okay, but... having to relive that moment,
It's alright, just take a minute.
it wasn't me casting that spell.
What do you mean?
It was my voice saying the words, but... it was like there was something else in my head every time I used that damn book.
You're saying you weren't in control of yourself?
No, not exactly. It was like there was a whisper in the back of my head. It promised everything I wanted and more, so long as I kept using the book.
Can you describe the whisper at all? Did it sound like anyone you recognized?
It didn't sound like anyone in particular, but it felt familiar. Like someone I once trusted with my life, but had forgotten. Kind of like...
Miss Finala? Vivian?
What?
We lost you for a second there. What happened?
Sorry, I just got lost in my memory for a second. I was such an idiot.
Miss Finala, Vivian, I need you to know that none of what happened is your fault.
So
Other than the
Jolly Rancher
lady,
is
you
the
know.
demon?
Thanks,
but I think you better save your judgment until you hear everything.
We can take a break now if you want. There's no need to push.
No, I just need to get on to what happened next. Let's continue.
Alright, if you're sure.
Woo. I am. The monster's glowing eyes gave me a clear view of my target. She looked annoyed, but more determined than ever to reach me despite the howling winds keeping her back. I focused on those eyes as I yelled the last word of the spell.
Ecto virata nictu.
The next instant, there was an explosion of sound and a flash of brilliant white light. I was blinded, but I could feel the raw power of the spell moving in slow motion. The bolt of lightning I had summoned fell straight down on top of her. And missed.
How could you miss? He was 3 feet in front of you!
The clouds overhead dissipated as the light from the book faded away, and I was able to see what had happened with my own eyes. The lightning bolt had changed direction at the last possible instant to strike Mark instead of the monster.
The spell killed a dead man.
Dying man. He still had a little life left in him when the spell snuffed him out.
But why did the spell pick a dying football star over a demon that had killed more than a dozen innocent people that night?
It would be a while until I figured that out. All I could do at the moment was watch in stunned silence as the overpowering smell of ozone and burnt rubber from Mark's melting sneakers filled my nostrils. After a minute, I looked up from the smoldering pile of former teen dream to the inhuman killing machine standing less than 10 feet away from me. I thought it was all over, till I noticed she was looking back at me with an almost amused expression on her carved face.
Who wants to be the monster?
I'll do it.
Alright.
Nice shot, Wilma Tell.
What the? And that's when things started to get complicated.
Oh, the real star of the story.
So cute. Oh God.
Was that just
That
a
was all
title
just
sequence?
the opening.
That was the
Oh.
prologue.
That or it's credits. It's credits.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was the prologue. That was cute.
So is there another one, or is that it?
I don't know.
Oh, I guess she was Joy Rancher. That or this is, you know...
Candy corn.
Who's Candy Corn?
Ominous Pigeon Master.
That's a great name.
Oh, that was music. I'm like, who the fuck are all these people?
Potatsaway.
Some of these names.
I'm assuming they're just all, like, online things.
Yeah, they're usernames.
Oh, chapter 1.
Ah,
Oh my god,
It
this is
was
a whole...
not.
This is a whole shebang. I think we're gonna have to come back next time to keep going with this. Bye-bye, everybody.
bye.
Bye.
Hey, thanks for watching, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and ring the bell icon for notifications. If you enjoyed this video, give us a like, and feel free to check out some of our other gaming videos, our weekly podcast, Anime Yay or Nay, or our parody series, Madoka Magically Abridged. See you next time!